Welcome to the Uncle Hack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast. Fresh off a huge show in Grande Prairie. I'll talk about that. We got a fan question that is quite interesting, I may add. What else on the docket? Oh, Johnny Depp. Amber Heard taking a dump in his bed. I think that's a great thing for us dudes to talk about because we've all been there, right? There's been a lady in your life or a guy, whatever, or there's a guy in a lady's life that has done something quite interesting in the relationship. One, whether it's on the ride out, during dating, we've heard your problems. You've sent them in. There's some weird things that people have done in a state of madness or being upset, whatever it is, but we'll discuss that later in the episode. Early on, where we got to touch on Grande Prairie. What a town. My God, one of the horniest cities I think I've ever been in. It is easily, the show was phenomenal. The people out there are great. I know that town they get a bad rap. They do. They get shit on a lot. They do. And that's the episode is a lot of shitting involved with this episode, whether it's shitting in beds. Some of you shit the bed, theoretically, and, realistically, I guess. Wow. That's just something we'll touch on it later in the episode. But Grande Prairie, a town that, receives a lot of punishment verbally by everybody online. And I get it, when you get out that way, there's not much to do but fuck and get fucked up. So that's just how it goes. And I guess when you bring an act into town, everybody wants to, release the demons, release the hounds. And I appreciate that. That's what we want at our shows anyways. We want people to leave there having a great time, a phenomenal time, if you will. And I think that it... maybe it's something in the air, something in the water. I don't know exactly what, but I gotta say, love it there now. I will be back. I will be back to do another show in Grande Prairie after what happened out there. There's a lot of things to unpack. First off, tons of beauties out there. One gentleman came up to me, and I got to give him props because it takes. Listen, we love burying our emotions as gentlemen, as dudes, as guys, right? And this guy approached me and just said, look, man, and this isn't coming from look how great I am. Look at this is what I do. I make sure people are the greatest they'll ever be. And it's because of me. But I just thought that this was a little bit moving to hear. Person to person. I've spent a good amount of time inside this podcast studio that I've built myself, and to hear it face to face from another human being, listen, what you're doing, dude, I suffered an accident. It really fucked me up. I got plates from the top of my head. I can't recall exactly what the accident is, and even if I did, I wouldn't put it out there just so I didn't single-handedly out the guy. But he said, look, man, I was in a place where I wasn't so happy, and your comedy, your humor has helped me. And that's, that kind of, I don't know how to describe the emotion or but it was just it was at the time, there was people around, and he felt the need to say this. And I just want to say to that guy, thank you, because there's, there is hardships that come along with doing this type of stuff, but I've never went through something that he's went through. And regardless of my life, I would still continue to do the podcasting no matter how popular it gets, or I try to remove my ego and this entitlement that I'm owed something because I spew thoughts on the internet. I try and totally remove that and just have fun with this podcast. But to know that it's affected somebody in a positive manner by me fucking around, essentially, is what this is. And just having fun and bullshitting and talking shit and, making fun of stuff. And I'm not necessarily... the last episode, I got a little real for a second, just a glimmer of it, just a glimpse of the other side of what happens in my regular day thoughts. And to hear that was surprisingly refreshing. It just kind of, I don't know, it really knocked the edge off in this like state of anxiety, I guess, I've been in, and like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? You question your actions from time to time, and that right there kind of, I don't know. It just, it made me happy. Even though like that guy went through some horse shit and an accident and life kind of threw, a sack of lemons at him, and this bullshit that I get up to kind of has helped bring a smile on his face. So that is worth its weight in gold. There's no currency that could ever fulfill that. I don't know, that side. It's just really cool, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. There it is. That was a joke. But no, it was gnarly of that guy at that time to come out and say those things, and I appreciate that. And I just wanted to shout him out on the podcast because that was it's been on my noodle for a couple of days, and like thinking about it and being like, damn, I didn't really take into consideration that this affected people in that way. So it was kind of cool to know that. I just do this to try and, I don't know, if I can't get to your area to do stand-up, which is now like the number one thing that I enjoy doing, that this podcast or the videos that we do or my sense of humor being on the internet has helped somebody overcome some hardships in their life. And that is something that I haven't put a lot of time and thought into. So that was really rad of that guy. And I want to say thank you, dude, because that's helped me stop questioning a lot of things that come along with this. And you hear it from time to time that, don't quit what you're doing, bro. Don't quit what you're doing. Well, it's like if it's not paying the bills and it becomes more of a hassle and it becomes difficult. Like I'm not really a materialistic person. I'm not chasing things or, I don't want my status being judged upon what type of clothing I'm wearing or what type of vehicle I drive. I'd rather it be on whether or not I deliver a good show and a lot of people come out and have fun. That I care more about than if I have a fucking Gucci belt on or, I mean, like for Christ, I got this Iron Maiden shirt that I'm wearing is like 4 years old. There's more holes in it than a glory hole at a truck stop right outside of Westlock, for Christ's sakes, those types of things. So having something like that be thrown out there was actually pretty rad. And I appreciate that guy for bringing that up to me, because I've never taken time, and it's a long drive from Grande Prairie. I'm still beat, dude. I'm still beat. And then like I was kind of just mulling that conversation over in my brain. And you know what, guys? Maybe I'm a pussy, maybe I'm not. But you know what? Now that because before, like I've talked about my selfish behavior of going out on the road and throwing these parties. And then it was more so like how much fun can I have opposed to others and me getting fucked up. And it was really great to get out there and like just deliver, like it's like game 7. And whatever sport you play, and you're in the semifinals to go into the championship, and it's a tie game. It's minutes are dying in the last quarter, last period, last round, whatever it is, and you squeak out a win. In the few rounds before, you're like you're battling. So that's how I view it now. And it was cool as hell. It was badass to go out there and care more about people having a good time and delivering a good show and having that type of stress. Like you got to perform. That's the most people I've ever performed for. It was like 450 something. It was a lot of goddamn people in there. So it's you're nervous and to, you know, just go out there and get it was awesome. It felt amazing. So Grande Prairie, thank you. Honestly, that felt phenomenal. To now, after 2 years of questioning whether or not this is the right thing or the right path, or am I this, am I that? To go out there and have a great show, be able to bring that many people out, bring them together, and unite one another with laughter. Now, our shows are very dark and dirty, so it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I understand that, and I don't expect everybody to like us, but for everybody to leave and have a good time, and, you know, so what? We make fun of the darker things in life. That's just because we've been through some situations, some hardships, and that's what we find funny. And if you find it funny, definitely come out to our shows. I'm going to leak it here, or actually on the Patreon. I'm going to leak where we're heading to next. So if you're on the Patreon, patreon.com/dangercats69, all of our shows that are upcoming, I'll have an episode talking a little bit more of like what's happening behind the scenes here at Danger Cats Comedy, where we're going to be going next, what we're planning, what we're doing. I will discuss it a little bit more in there in detail, but we are heading more east. I will say that. East of Alberta, I should say. But yeah, goddamn, Grande Prairie, what a horny town. What a incredibly horny town. I did not realize that the last 2 times I went there, I was also drugged up and boozing real heavy. And I heard a lot of funny things about myself the second time coming around. Like one kid came up to me, he said he got kicked out of somewhere. And I lied and I said, hey man, this is my cousin. You know, he didn't mean no harm. And he explained this story to me, and he's like, yeah, to this day, I'm still allowed, and they still think that you're my cousin. So I think that's, you know, even when I'm drinking, I'm being a nice person, I guess, in a way. But I helped this young man get back into some organization. I think that they kicked him out for, and he made a minor mistake because I asked him, I was like, well, what did you get kicked out for? And he's like, I was drunk one night, and I said some shit I shouldn't have. I apologize. But you kind of vouched for me. So I find that hilarious. My stupid drunk ass. Don't worry about it. I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it. But my God, one fella out there, we finished the show. The ladies out there, hornier than ever. If you're having a difficult time getting laid, I highly recommend heading out to Grande Prairie, because the ladies out there fuck harder than the men do. Holy shit. Everywhere you went, and be like, hey, so what do you say? Me and you get out right to the point too. I like that. Very direct. Despite what all these cucks, these cuck channels say about Grande Prairie, I'm a fan. Okay, I'm a fan of a town that goes for what they want, and they don't leave any gray area in between. The ladies come up to you. Hey, one girl, what did she say? It was so funny. I just was joking back and forth, and she just, well, why don't you come find out? It's something about riding a Harley or something like that, or riding a Harley. I was like, there was a joke in between there. I can't remember what it was. She just goes, well, why don't you come find out? Whoa, all right. Direct and to the point. Another thing that happened, I wish I had the photos up here, but I'll edit them in Premiere. I'll put them up to the side here. But so a dancer went and asked me to sign her ass, okay? And she says, I'm going to get this tattooed. Now, I've heard this many times, okay? I've heard this many times. Hey, Uncle X, sign right here. and I'm going to get it tattooed on Monday. Now, I get it. You're drinking. We're all having fun, and I'm not holding you to it and be like, well, you pussy, you're not going to get my signature tattooed on you. And like, I get it. It's all fun and games. We're all laughing about it. Ha, ha, ha. We're going to get the signature. Well, finally, it went through that somebody went and got my signature tattooed on him. Just so happens to be a dancer. Her name is Raven Lunatic. Which is a hilarious dancer name to have, and then go and get my signature tattooed on your. It's on brand for her, I would say. Super funny human. I had a few laughs with her at the club there, and there's some photos that are appearing right now. But my signature is now. This is the pinnacle. This is it. This is the mountaintop. Dancers, and you know what? I spent an ungodly amount of time of my youth sitting inside strip clubs all across North America, Vegas, whatever city that I would be in, Mexico. We've been international, and I've paid my dues in the strip club. So to have the stripping industry pay this respect back on behalf of Raven Lunatic getting my signature tattooed on her ass, and now she's got to live the rest of her life with this, unless it's a cover up down the road, which I kind of suspect will happen in future years. But I tell you, what a goddamn honor! What a goddamn honor to have the one industry that I prop up and I enjoy probably the most. We talk about the Tinas a lot on this podcast. We enjoy them. There's a lot of prudes out there and be like, why would you want to go get horny with your friends? Because it's a good time. Okay. It's a great time. You get a nice stage show. You're seeing exactly what you want. You're having a few beers. You got entertainment. You're not bumping into 21-year-olds trying to dance to Doja Cat on a dance floor with 30 other sweaty dudes that are pretty much trying to molest him. I don't want to watch a molestation happen in front of me. Instead, I would like to watch the art of taking off a female taking off her clothes, and to me, that is peak entertainment. I can sit in a strip club all night long. It's great. They got the booths are always usually comfy. You can get yourself a dance, take a peek, head on home. You don't. Why do I want to go get horny with my friends? Because that's called bonding. Okay. When everybody has testosterone running through their veins, right? You're pumped up. Think about all the times that you played sports or you're doing something with an adrenaline rush added to it. Now throw that testosterone gets through you, and you and the fellas are having a good time. You get a good dancer on stage. She knows how to work the crowd. They're like comedians in a way, knowing how to work the crowd. They get them going. They brings out some good tricks, God bless them. And now I live with the honor of having my signature on a dancer. So I will say, incredibly proud moment in my life, in my career. I'm excited to show my mom this. If she has not seen it, I have posted on my story on Instagram. And I got to say, I will say it again. I'll keep repeating it from here on out. But we made it, boys. We made it. All right. Many of you have joked with me about getting my signature tattooed on your ass, or, oh, look at this, fucking get it tattooed. No fucking evidence yet. And this is the first one. So now I don't think I'm that famous. Okay. I don't think I'm famous enough that you should be tattooing my signature on your ass. But it has now happened, and I appreciate that. That is the level that I'm trying to break into, where maybe your signature is worth something. I want to be filthy rich, and I want to look down upon the poor like everybody else. I want to like I just seen an article about Billie Eilish saying, like, I wish I was broke so I could relate to my fans more, and I want that issue. I want to get to the level where I'm looking down upon everybody, and I'm just thinking to myself, God, I miss those days where I didn't know how I was going to pay for, a case of Itchy Band, being in my early 20s, just trying to figure out how to manage a fight career. And I say that loosely, fight career. But I want to reminisce and feel that again. But then again, I'm very comfortable in a 30-foot by 30-foot jacuzzi right now. So I don't know if I want to go down that road anymore. So it's quite a place to be right now because I'm not filthy rich, and I wish I was, because then this would mean probably less. This would be whatever. Bring out the caviar. I would like to wipe off my mouth with a Louis Vuitton scarf and spit in the face of my butler. But instead, this is where I want to be. I like this right here. I'm floating in the mix. I'm in with the shitheads, the shit disturbers. A lot of shit talk in this episode. But I gotta say, goddamn, that's a pinnacle. That's I showed the old lady and she just goes, Jesus Christ, what is happening out there? She goes, that's quite funny that the first person to ever get your signature tattooed on them just so happens to be a dancer. And I thought it was fake at first, but then I you zoom in just to see like what the hoop. What's the hoop look like? Oh yes, getting in there. What's the hoop? Let me see the hoop. But it's quite. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. The live studio audience approves of this as well. Cheer, thank you very much, and I'm happy you're all here as well. It is great. I wish I could pull some of you up out of in the studio audience to discuss it with me, but we're not that level. Somebody asked me, why don't you have guests on your podcast? And it's like, I don't know, because I record these randomly, and I certainly don't like scheduling things. It annoys me. I really dislike scheduling stuff. It does. Because I just like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go there. I'll do this for a minute and go back over here. I'll record the podcast at this time. It never happens at that time. So here we sit by ourselves talking into this. And plus I enjoy kind of just ironing things out and reminiscing of old stories that I've stored in my head. But that's what I forgot. Swinging town of Grande Prairie. I gotta say, there was a couple in this. We had an after party at the strip club after, obviously, and this couple aggressive. Like I said, not everybody's aggressively sexual over there, and it's great. It's nice because what I've been talking about for a couple weeks, we got to get out there. We gotta fuck. And Grande Prairie, of all places, syphilis rates went up 200% during the pandemic, and they still just disregarded. Whatever, it's a couple pills. Who gives a shit? Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. So what? What is you? Is it syphilis where your piss burns for a hot minute? I'm pretty sure it is. But they didn't give a shit. They're all about it. Guys over there. This guy's walking around. This swinger couple. He politely asked, I will say, he was very polite about it. He goes, hey, how about this? How would you feel about my wife sucking your cock? I said, pardon me? I was like, did I hear that correctly? The music is quite loud and, No, yeah. I'm asking you if you'd be okay with my wife sucking your cock while I watch. You know what? I'm going to be straight with you. Right now, no. I'm A-okay off of it. It'd be a great story to tell, and it'd be great to tell on the podcast. I dabbled in the swinger life, and I'm explaining a bunch of shit that I'm sure he didn't care for after I denied letting his wife blow me. But I was like, see that guy over there? And I pointed to another comedian. I pointed to Gulliver Twist, and I was like, listen, that guy's single. Why don't you give him a run? And I don't know if it's happened or not. I want to believe that it did. I want to believe that it did. They all left together. So we'll have to get Gulliver on to tell the story. I can't tell the story for him on whether or not it happened. But if that went down, he's in. He's in. He has to be in after that. No? After a move like that? Go on the road with the cats, first lady, that he, that's how we do it, I guess. I don't know. First lady that he takes down on the road with us it just so happens to be a married one. That's exactly what this brand is. A lot of people ask, what's a danger cat? That right there. If you don't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. Because that is exactly what we're gunning for around here. That type of attitude, that type of spirit, anytime, anywhere, any place. And it doesn't matter. Drinks, pussy, music. Yeah, we'll do it. You see an opportunity for a good story and you strive for it. That's what we enjoy around here. These are the types of people I want to surround myself with, not these people that are reluctant to possibly have a better time. I don't know if I would go out and do that. No. Okay, you're out. Bye. Smell you never. We need people that have an adventurous spirit, This brand wasn't built by tiptoeing around everything. No, we went right into the fire. We went right into it. I was we were talking. I was talking to Walker about it, and it's funny that during the course of this kind of starting, I was still working for a company. So I was going on the internet and saying wild shit. And at the time, I didn't give a fuck. I still kind of don't. Actually, I don't even more now, because now I work for myself and I can get away with much more. Who am I going to do? I'm going to argue with myself in the mirror? That's the HR department right there, is when I step in front of the mirror. Am I fucking up? I have to question my own morals at some point. Or at some time. And I look at myself and I go, what the fuck are you up to right now? And you laugh about it and be like, this will make for a great story on the podcast. Keep going. Why slow down? Go right to the sun. Always flying nice and close to the sun. Risking my job to say naughty things on the internet. It just so happened to work out, So that's what we look for. If you're reluctant, if there's a little heat coming your way, how do you handle it? Do you go right at it, or are you back? Well, I don't know. And there's no need for apologies around here. Go right at it. Create some controversy. Why not? It's fun for the whole family. That's how we get down around here. And that's why I like touring with Brett and Sam, because once the controversy fires up, they're like, all right, what do we got? How can we play this? How can we make us look great? We already look great that, yuppies hate us. All these cucks out there don't want to dabble in the fucking cat's den. Do cats have dens? That's all I took out of that. Do cats have dens? Interesting. Yeah. But Grande Prairie, salute. Had a great time. Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate it. We're looking to go across Canada now. We'll be leaking more information on the Patreon episodes. There will be more discussion of like what's coming up in the future, obviously, and we talk about a little more wild shit. The internet censorship is getting a bit ridiculous. So anything behind a paywall, we can go a little crazier with. And not that I'm afraid to go crazy on the internet. It's just I don't really feel like losing a channel that I've put 5 years into over the fact of, what the fuck? Because they're not too quick to hand those things back. I've learned with the Danger Kittens page. So it is what it is. Big Elon bought Twitter, so maybe we'll get big on Twitter now. Uncle Hack 69 on Twitter. Uncle spelt with a K. Jesus, yeah. Well, in the second half, we're definitely going to dive into this. Johnny Depp taking a. I heard Johnny Depp see a picture of the old lady taking a dump in your bed. And I'm trying to think of like what's some crazy things that have happened to me during relationships. I've never had anybody shit in my bed. I almost shit in my own hamper one night after a fight. I love drinking. I do. And one night after a fight, I got home and after pounding a few wobbly pops, the girl that I was dating at the time, caught me in the middle of the night. First off, I was sitting in this fucking thing. Like I was about to take a shit in my own hamper. And here I'm like pissing into it. And I had no idea. Not a clue. Almost took a dump in my own hamper. She woke up and she says, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And to this day, that's still a great question. That is still a phenomenal question that I don't have the answer to. So if she's still wondering, I don't know. I still don't know. And that's where I sit to this day. Not a clue. Time for a little ad read. Patreon.com/DangerCat69. If you want an extra episode of the Uncle Hack podcast, it is waiting for you there. Roast Battles Volume 1 through 4 are all on there as well. That's right. All the episodes of the Roast Battles are up there, plus exclusive content that we have, behind the scenes footage, exclusive podcasts that myself and Nick McQuick have done at a undisclosed location in Alberta in a room where we can smoke marijuana. That's right. We are stoned as hell on these episodes. They are there for your viewing. We recorded them in front of a live audience as well. So it is rather interesting. That's patreon.com/DangerCat69. DangerCatShop.com for all your Danger Cats materials. All your hats, all your hoodies, all your t-shirts. If you use the code podcast69, you will save 15% off your order today. All of our upcoming shows are up there right now. The only one that we have on the books, May 6th, Calgary, Alberta. I will be battling for the Roast Battle Championship against Alicia Schneider, who beat Sam Walker in the last episode, which you can view on the Patreon, which I just talked about. But I am going up against her to try and snipe the strap. And that following Saturday, I will be in Lethbridge hosting for Nick McQuick at Good Times Comedy Club. And he is doing a live recording of his porn stories. So definitely come on out. It'll be a great night of comedy. And lastly, May 3rd, I am here in Edmonton at the comic strip competing in Funniest Person with a Day Job. So if you would like to come down, the first 30 people that DM me and are from the Edmonton area, you can have free tickets to that show to come and hopefully cheer me on so I can move to the next round. If not, then whatever. I will go fist myself. Anyways, back to the episode, you know? But hey, at least it wasn't in her bed. I do have this queued up. Let's take a listen. Johnny Depp.
It was a photograph of the bed, our bed, and on my side of the bed, was human fecal matter. So
He almost cracked a smile there.
why it wasn't a good time to go down there. My initial response to that was, I laughed. It was so outside. It was so bizarre and so grotesque that I could only laugh.
What else do
so
you
I
do?
did not go down there that day.
Mr. Depp,
It was so I went downstairs. Imagine that. The old lady's heading to Coachella and she's like, here's a little prank for him. Little son of a bitch. That's so fucking funny. That he's like, I laughed. What else do you do in a situation like that? I don't blame him one bit. I don't blame him one bit for laughing at that. I would probably laugh too. Any dude with a sense of humor, if your old lady took a shit in your bed on your side too, to boot, the audacity of her, not just shitting in the bed, she shot on his side to make a statement, make a point. And you walk down and you just kind of look at that. And you see, oh, yeah, I guess he didn't go down there. He just seen a photo and be like, hey, I went and checked on your house since you were out of town. It looks like I don't know how to put this. Imagine having to send that to him. Be like, look, dude, I don't know how to tell you this, but I think your old lady shit in your bed. And not only just in your bed, on your side of the bed where you stay. So, Johnny, I'm gonna cut you straight. I really don't want to clean this up. Okay. She took a dump on her bed, and I will admit, she should add some cheese into her diet. The whole vegan thing is not cutting it. It's not like a nice solid. No, it's like, it looks like a violent sneeze, Johnny. And I went down there and it smells atrocious. And all vegan, vegan protein, first off, leaves a putrid smell after a day. And it is just, I could feel the smell bellowing from underneath the door. And I'm thinking, what the hell is that? And Johnny, I walked into that room and I thought to myself, like, what the fuck is that? It looked as if you left a root beer float in the sun, in the milk curdled, and I put it in a whoopee cushion and punched it. So all I'm saying is maybe let's get off the vegan. Let's get off the vegan and start, I know, I get it. This LA lifestyle and all that, everybody wants to act like they're contributing, but my God, if she's going to shit in a bed, can we at least add some cheese into the diet? Because if this is going to be a regular occurrence, man, I can't be going in there. I can't be looking at a fucking crime scene like that. Christ almighty, it looked like, Johnny, me and you are horror fans, right? This is the guy that sent the picture talking to him. So, me and you are horror fans, right? Now, you remember the scenes in Texas Chainsaw Massacre when the chainsaw would hit the flesh and it's just like they really went wild with the gore? It looks like the aftermath of that, okay? I feel like I'm on set deck and we're about to tear down the final murder scene in Texas Chainsaw Massacre and substitute the blood with shit. I don't know if I can handle this job anymore, man. This is things that people go to a therapist about with PTSD. Johnny, I'm telling you. And Johnny's on the other end of the phone just being like, well, all I could do is laugh. Johnny, I don't know if this is something to laugh about. Maybe in about a week, but I tell you, if I got to walk into that room one more time, I'm never going to be able to look at her in the face again. Jesus. I got to have daily interactions with her and pretend that this doesn't happen because that's what we do out here. You hire me to be at your assistance. And now I got to look at your old lady knowing that she took a shit in your bed, a violent shit on top of it. My God. Wow. Now I remember when I was a young lad, I've talked about it. I'll bring it up. I'll talk about it again. I was never a good boyfriend when I was younger. I was one of those guys that I got my heart broken early on by, found out the high school girlfriend made out with some other dude. And it was before I could get into the bar, and it just shatters your heart. It hurts. It hurts. Your first little heartbreak, it takes a toll on you. Then your respect for women really plummets after that because you're like, I'm not going to put feeling and affection into these things. You start looking at them as more of objects. And then my next girlfriend after that had to pay for the repercussions of my kind of behavior and attitude towards women, which I don't think is correct. Okay. I'm not saying that this is great, but it's a good thing to get out of your system. I don't think that, putting people through a bunch of bullshit because you're going through some stuff is a great way of dealing with it. I don't think that at all, but this is how it all played out because, as a dude, we like to suppress our emotions and not really articulate our thoughts and why we're feeling a certain way. Instead, we lash out. And that's what I did. Instead of getting my shit together and then presenting myself back into the dating world, I just went in there and been a man whore for a while. Ended up, you get into some of those situations too, where instead of, maybe it was meant to be a hookup and it just kind of stays longer and you're like, this is kind of convenient and we're here. We might as well be a part of one another's lives for a bit. And then you start to see that the relationship isn't, you should break up with her, but you don't have the balls to do it. And that's where I was at. So all I would do is when I felt that I was being wronged, I would just go fuck another woman. So that way I could feel that we're even in a way. And then I would feel guilty over that. And then I was more worried about my guilt than what's actually happening between us. And then as this went on, obviously you get a little lazy with your methods and how you're going about it. Well, I got caught on one of these dating services, like most guys do when they're trying to cheat on them, because we're not too smart when it comes to this. It's, like your girlfriend usually has single friends, right? And these single friends are going to probably be on some of these apps, or at least somebody knows you from somewhere. We're all connected in a way. So I get caught on one of these apps, and and it was right after. So not only does she have to deal with that, it was prior to that. I saved it up. I didn't say jack shit, but I was going to go down and try out for ASU's hockey team and possibly leave Tabor and hopefully go play hockey in the Sunshine State of Arizona for Tempe, Arizona for Arizona State University, which just so happens to be the number one party school, or was voted number one party school in America like 2 years prior to me even looking at it. I had a friend down there and it looked great. There's pussy everywhere. I'm like, this is a great way of me just leaving and not dealing with my problems. And I can just pack my shit, head on out, go to school, play some hockey, have some fun, get laid, go to parties. And I tell her that I'm going to try out for this hockey team prior to this happening. So already dealing with that, then has to find out that her boyfriend is also on these dating apps trying to find side pussy while dating her. So I don't fault her one bit, because that's a lot to take in a 1 week time, but also like maybe her methods of dealing with it aren't as well as mine. So I was then chased around my vehicle. I can't remember if she had like a fucking broomstick or a hockey stick or something and was like screaming. I'm like, you gotta calm down. It was just the most white trash way of going about it. But that's like my one way. Like, I'm provoking. I'm trying to draw the crazy out of her, So it's not like she's, like I'm not trying to sit here and be like, she's the crazy one. No, I was an asshole. I was a full-blown asshole for doing that, by not only cheating on her, but also looking to, like, instead of being like, listen, maybe it's time you and I break up and we go our separate ways. I'm like, you know what? I got to go. I'm going to go try out for this hockey team. I'm really banking on her being the one like, oh, okay, well, if you're going to do that, I'm not hanging out. I'm not waiting for you to get your shit together. And it didn't work. So I'm literally taking the hardest route up the mountain instead of just taking the gondola down, or gondola up, gondola down. And I'm dealing with this now, instead of, I'm dealing with the shit in the bed, even though I'm the one that shit the bed, and I'm trying to act as if, oh God, what a crazy bitch. You're always worried about how you look. And it's like, as time went on, I started like, you go down this weird path. Like I said, your brain starts changing when you're like 26, 27 and you started being like, holy fuck, that wasn't cool at all. You're a little 21-year-old, your hormones are just running. You're running hot all the time. You get a sniff. There's that scent. Every guy knows the scent. It smells like cheap London drugs, like a cheap drugstore body spray. That's the scent. You get that hits the fucking nostrils and you just like, you feel like the sharks on Finding Nemo. Pussy! That cheap body spray. You get a whiff of that and you're like, oh, whores are in the water. Ha! And it changes like how your brain functions. You're you feel like a predator. You know, you see a baby fawn with a broken leg and you're like, oh no, why did this thing had to be? I was trying to, it's like fish are friends, don't want food. And then you get the scent of the body spray and you're like, fucking just one pump, just let me see one nipple. It's rather difficult to contain that as a young man, and with the internet now, you get that right away. You can see it. You can smell it. You can fucking feel it. Like you get that image that pops up. You send me a nude and you can just see oh God. You can see the bottle of cheap body spray sitting on when they take the bathroom selfie, the ass up on the sink, they take that selfie, they send it to you and you just like, you analyze that photo top to bottom. You're looking at every crevice of the body that she's willing to show. You're trying to fucking like, see if there's something reflective that you get a front view off of. You go full blown FBI on the photo. And then as you're scrolling across, you see the rack of lotions and the hair care products. And there it is, the bottle of cheap body spray. And you're like, oh no, God almighty, I know that scent. Every guy that is listening to this knows that scent. That scent hits your nose. You'll be in the dance club and you're just like the other day, I got in the elevator at me and the missus' apartment. I walk in and that scent was lingering, and that was in it. I was like, whores are in the area. It's like it's a fucking air raid siren of scent. That's what that is, Ukraine's going through it right now. They're getting the air raid sirens. You get that scent. That sets off the fucking radar in your head. You're like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. God, no. I was planning on just going home, watching some television, trying to find a new little series to watch on Netflix. Now I got to go and figure out who lives in this building. I got to go through the whole names list. If they got a fucking uncensored Twitter account that I can see your asshole for just 1 second. Now I got to go through all of these steps just to get through my fucking day. All of that, and it throws a little curve in the road, It throws a pit stop that you weren't intending to have. You were having a great day, and then the body spray hits your fucking nostrils, and you're running around like the teen wolf, like you just changed. You're howling at the moon. You're like, fucking, where is it? I'll eat her pussy right now. I'll eat her pussy on the bus. I'll eat her shit. Lay it out wherever. Just fucking, I'll eat it from the back. I don't even care. You just got done at the gym. Whatever. It's not even that big of a deal. So what? I get a sweaty ass. What do I do about it? Nothing. It's not even nothing, Exactly. It leaves a mystery in the air. Now you're just running around. That's what I mean. Like the horniness of Grande Prairie. I get it. I understand where these people come from, because when you're locked up for 2 years and you get that scent and they just said, fuck it, we're not doing it. And I think that's where a lot of jealousy lies with the rest of Canada, because they're looking at Grande Prairie. What do you mean their syphilis rates went up 200%? Their syphilis rates went up 200%. They're still fucking out there. We're supposed to be on lockdown. They're like, it's a cock down. That's what we're doing. We're cocking everything down. We're fucking. We don't care. The rates will go up. The whores are on the loose. They tried locking them up, stay indoors. I don't think so. He's like, the mayor was like, nah, indoors, more like in whores. And that'll happen. And then you get yourself in a scenario like your old Johnny Depp. Next thing you know, you get caught fucking around with the next door neighbor or whoever it may be, whoever's floating around in the neighborhood at that moment in time. And next thing you know, you're getting chased around your Ford Escape with a Sherwood 50/50, getting screamed at, yelled at, because your actions have consequences sometimes. In that particular moment, I just needed to probably get high sticked. I'm guessing, she was looking to Dr. Hook McCracken me, club me upside the temple. I swear it was a hockey stick. She was chasing me around with something. Get the fuck over here. I'm like, babe, you got to calm down. There's neighbors around here. And at the time, it was hilarious because one of the guys I worked with lived across the street from me. And I had to come back to work. And he goes, what the hell was going on before you left? And I was like, listen, we'll talk about it at coffee. This isn't a conversation to have at the front counter. Okay? Let's just say things weren't good. But it is what it is, gents. That'll happen to the best of us. And before you know it, your old lady's shitting in your bed before you go to Coachella. Where are we? Okay, let's get into the fan question. Damn, where is it? I should have screenshot it before. Fuck. Sorry, this is bad radio. Okay, here it is. Fan question this week is you know what? I'll mention his name because he deserves the recognition. He was a longtime caller of Last Call when we were doing the live stream at that and those moments in time. Logar asked a fan question, and I know he would be honored to have his name said. And he goes, good God, I want this chick so much. I don't know why, or I don't know if this is true or not. But only 2 times a year, I feel I need to fuck anything that moves. Perfect for this episode. Meaning I get randy around springtime and the beginning of fall. Do you find that you have or have felt kind of the same experience? It would be really cool to hear what you got to say, my friend. And this episode it works out perfectly because we got into the body spray and the things, and right now Grande Prairie is just a horny city, so maybe it does have something to do with the weather and the changing, especially here in Canada. We spend a lot of time indoors due to the weather conditions here. So once springtime and the fall kind of roll around, you got to kind of like hunker down. Springtime, it opens up. You want to run around and shove your dick or into anything that moves. You also, maybe you as a female, you get a little randy. You're getting worked up and you haven't been fucked in a while. It's been 2 years. You're not one of these ones that are too worried about a Vax Pass. You don't need to scan a QR code to get this pussy. That's fine. Live your life accordingly. We're not here to judge. We don't slut shame, we slut fame around here. We enjoy ladies that love getting laid. That's just how it is. The exact reason why we enjoy the women that express themselves sexually, whether it be on OnlyFans, Twitter, amateur night at the strip club, whatever it may be. Maybe you if you like sex, you like sex. There's nothing wrong with that. And don't let these Catholic, Christian, loser, fucking religious figureheads try to make you feel any different. It's okay to be a whore, It is A-okay to be a whore. We love whores around here. They say that, oh, fuck, if you're a whore, you can never be loved. I find that completely false. In fact, I love all the whores. I love what you do. I love what you do, and you deserve the respect. And we respect those ladies on this podcast. We respect, sex workers, anybody with anybody that can really, you don't even actually, no, you don't need to justify your actions. Who gives a shit? If you're an asshole, you're an asshole, Even then, as long as you understand who you are and what you're doing, who gives a fuck? You only got one life. Get out there. Fuck. Have some fun. Build some stories. Christ almighty, I got some stories. I've told many on here. The anonymous cum slut where I fucked that guy's wife and he watched right in front of me. I've been to orgies, sex clubs. So I understand this question right here. In fact, I'm probably the fourth best person to ask. First being Sue with the Sunday Night Sex Show. She'd probably be able to explain this to a T on why we are the way we are. But here's what I think. I think we as Canadians, we go through the wintertime. You're kind of deprived of any sort of female attention, whether and it's only online, and that's not the same. Texting, you get a little bit of a dopamine hit, a little bit of serotonin hit when you're texting with a lady. You're like, oh God, is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? There's excitement there. You get jacked up. Woo! You got to figure out a way to try and talk this like sweet little vixen into coming over and you coming over. You got to be slick with your words. You got to be very selective with them. And sometimes you're in Grande Prairie and they just walk up to you and say, hey, why don't we get the fuck out of here? Why don't you come smack my tits around in the back of my Denali? I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Sometimes that happens. Not very often, but when it does, you appreciate it. Very much so. So I think like in the spring, you're probably getting a little more hornier because it's, the flowers are blooming. And what do flowers look like? The beautiful rose of a woman. So you're looking at that. You see it subconsciously. Your brain's telling you, pussy. It's everywhere. You love when ladies smell like cheap body spray, and cheap body spray always tries to like emulate or mimic the scents of flowers, right? They always try to mimic the scents of flowers. So now everything right now, you're just trying to be the bee that pollinates the flowers. That's what you're trying to be. Metaphorically, that fits well, I feel like. So you're just trying to buzz around and figure out what flower you would like to pollinate. And it makes total sense. Now leading into the summer, the ladies like to dress a little more provocative. They like to wear a little less. They like to get the hammers out. And we appreciate that, Don't oogle, just glance. Don't oogle, just glance. Take a peek. Glance many times. And if you get caught, you get caught. And you just got to address it. Look, they're out. They look great. Why can't we just compliment it? Patrice O'Neill, like one day a year where you can just sexually harass anybody, I think is a brilliant way of going about it. Just get it out of the system. Be like, listen, he nails it right on the head. But now you can't oogle. We have to accept your sexuality and then also suppress ours at the same time because not in Grande Prairie, they're horny as hell. And I like that. They got their titties out. They say whatever the fuck they want. Damn, those are nice. Good for you. You appreciate it. And as summer goes on, you're teased with these, provocative images. And it probably goes for women too. It's the gray sweatpants thing. I don't know what else. Whatever you find attractive on a male, maybe his humor tells you a good joke. And it's like, maybe you're attracted to his wealth, whatever it may be. That's on you. But now you're starting to see it because summertime rolls around, and what do some gentlemen do? They have a boat. Maybe you have a boat in Kelowna. And what are the whores in Kelowna like? They like boats, so they go on the boat. They see that as a sign of wealth if you have a boat. Maybe you're in Edmonton, and you see a guy with a nice classic car or a sports car of some sort. What's going on here? Why is that doing that? And you see these things. And you get a little excited. You're like, oh, he's got a little bit of wealth. We're sexually, we're the same. We're just attracted by different things. That's all. Actually, well, sexually, we're different. Some people, different strokes, different folks. Okay? Call it as it is. But As the fall rolls around, I think you're getting horny again because this is the last time we're going to see all this until another 6-7 months, until the winter and the ice age is over, and you got to get it all out of your system. So here we sit, where you get your last time we're going to bring the boat on before we winterize it and put it away for the snowfall. Last music festival. You got all these things that. Gathering of people, you're mingling with others, you're meeting other people, you're experiencing new things, so it excites you. You're in the mix, and then as the days get shorter and the nights get colder, it starts to sit in your brain, be like, oh fuck, I don't have anything to hunker down with for the winter. How am I gonna get through this? I gotta get one more shag in, at least one more shag before we fucking before you winterize the body and you go into hibernation for a while, just watching hockey and jerking off, drinking Budweisers in a basement couch with unfinished walls and jerseys nailed to the studs. And these images now sit in your head because you're seeing your future for the next following year, and you're like, fuck, I could just use one more bang before I, put the cock away for the winter. So it excites you. You want to get out there. You want to meet the people. You want to shake hands. You want to meet the lady that could possibly hunker down with you for the winter. I believe they call it cuffing season, right? Right as seems to be right around the time when the pumpkin spice lattes start hitting the market once again for Halloween. Halloween's kind of like the last time that you get to see all the sluts gather, and they really lay it on the line, They really lay it on the line. Halloween is like that right there is like the final send-off where everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, where the ladies of the evening really lay it on the line of what they're all about. They go about it they wear provocative clothing out there, and maybe they attract a young man and this young lady. You both get together, have yourself a wonderful time, a wonderful evening, and then that right there is the closing of the summertime fun, the summertime flings. A little bit of that cuffing season, mating season is over, and we got to go back into our homes for the winter. So I believe that could possibly be it, Logar. I feel like that could possibly be the reason on why you feel these ways during spring and fall. That could be easily the reason why you get this new, it's almost like the shedding of the skin when you hit out, or you present yourself back in the outdoors and you have people all around you looking to possibly fuck as well. And it doesn't help that you're sitting inside now. With technology, it doesn't help at all, because in the winter now you're seeing like some of these ladies are able to travel. They're very good looking women, and very wealthy men like having good looking women around them. So they're willing to pay for them to go to Tulum. So their summertime fun doesn't end. They just move locations and they continue the summer, where many of us, unfortunately, we aren't supermodels. We have to sit indoors and watch all this unfold. So, it becomes a little bit more difficult for some of us. So I hope that answers your question. I hope that really sums it up for you. I feel we may or may have not nailed it on the head there. But thank you for listening to the Uncle Hack podcast. And if you'd like an extra episode, please, patreon.com/dangercat69. We dive into the issues that are needed to be dived into. We talk about things that many aren't willing to talk about, why we are the way we are. And with that being said, we will see you next week, every Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Goodbye. Time for a little ad read. Patreon.com/dangercat69. If you want an extra episode